With the annual Kamen Rider Winter movie coming up very soon, I figured I should reveal something from their franchise. And what better than one of the stars of the movie, Geats? A stark contrast to Levi and Vice's bright but busy suits, Geats' default form, i.e. the ones used for promos, opted for something simpler. When you boil this design down, it's just a black base with some armor sprinkled in, which if you watch the show, is very intentional. It's also a good first impression for the audience. I also really like the little details like this chest bit over here being the slots for the magnum form, as you can see over here, really cool. And the exhaust being well used. And the gradient is just beautiful really. They are really great touches. And for the people who do stop motion, the magnum and boost buckles are detachable with little to no force, which is a bit worrying because just me doing this, I already detached it. That's something that I am worried about because sometimes it's actually quite finicky to attach back and it results in you dropping and having a high chance of you losing it. So do be careful about that. Oh, and these bits are also removable. It's a feature for later. Oh yeah, you can remove the eyes. I do wish the connections were tighter, but I guess if you're careful, you should be fine because yeah, you don't fall off when you do that. More features include arm-mounted guns for dual wielding, a rotatable Desire driver for this year's gimmick, and the Magnum shooter. Fun fact, Geats is the first ever main rider whose default weapon is purely a pistol and not a fusion of blade and gun. Well, until later. And just like the actual toy, the Magnum buckle, this one over here, can attach over here and create a powered up attack. And whose connection is for some reason tighter. Weird. As it is from the SH Figuarts line, good articulation is expected. Very smooth head movement, like no resistance at all. Unrestricted arms that do have a bit of resistance, but it doesn't feel that bad. It doesn't feel like I'm gonna break the figure at all. But it is a relatively new figure, so I think it would be weird if that was the case. And the legs also feel the exact same, and they don't really break the sculpt because when you do this, there's a bit more inside there to make it look a bit more natural until you flare it out and get that. Yup, can't fix everything, but now can we? To elevate its expressiveness, multiple hands. Natural hands, trigger hands. I don't know what these are. Show hands? You know, like a performer flaring out his hands and stuff. Is my best guess. And fist. Simply pull the hand out and just plug in whichever one you feel like displaying it with. Is that all? No. You can detach all these parts shown here to swap parts with other riders from the SH Figuarts line and the show, obviously, which I can't show sadly as I don't have any other riders. I only have Geats because when I went to the shop in Japan, they only had Geats. And I'm pretty sure I would have been pushing it trying to get another one. Well, the playability of this figure and all its accessory does make this $76 feel worth it. Extra compatibility with other figures, like I already mentioned, is a plus. Although I do want to say, I don't particularly like the connections for the belt buckle themselves, and they are a relatively small item, so I am afraid of losing them when I just do this, when I try and pick him up, because when I try and pick him up, it just lands here and my thumb just pushes it, and because it's so weak, it just flies out like this. And also, when I try and remove the hands, it makes a really whirring snap. I really don't like that sound. I hope other SH Figuarts aren't like this because it's really worrying. Still, I think this guy is still fun, even with all of that. I'm not saying it's a high recommendation, but it's quite fun, it's interesting, it's neat. I feel like it's geared a bit more towards display than fiddling around. So I hope you possibly found this video useful. And quick question, did anyone buy the entry raise form? Thanks for watching.